I asked an artificial intelligence to give me ideas for a YouTube script. It suggested 10 topics, and number 1 was, why are YouTube scriptwriters like you completely replaceable by a cheaper and more efficient AI? I thanked it, closed the browser window, and started writing this script myself while updating my LinkedIn profile, just in case. Because, let's be honest, that AI wasn't joking. We're in the middle of a silent massacre, one that doesn't involve robots with red eyes like in Terminator, but rather friendly algorithms with corporate logos that are devouring white-collar jobs faster than you can. A Netflix marathon on a rainy weekend. How did we get to this point? For the same reason we buy limited edition sneakers or invest in cryptocurrencies with dog names. FOMO, the fear of missing out. Over the past few years, artificial intelligence has gone from being a science fiction concept to the buzzword in every boardroom. If your company didn't have an AI strategy, you were basically a dinosaur waiting for the meteorite. CEOs talked about machine learning synergies and neural network paradigms without having the slightest idea what they meant. But it sounded incredibly profitable. It was the new gold rush, and everyone wanted their pick and shovel, not realizing that AI wasn't just going to dig for gold, but was also going to dig the graves of millions of jobs. Isn't it ironic that the tool sold as the future of human productivity is creating a future without productive humans? The origin of this revolution is, like many great stories, an ironic twist of fate. Companies like OpenAI, which gave us ChatGPT, started out with noble ideals. Their original mission, almost like a superhero's oath, was to ensure that general artificial intelligence would benefit all of humanity. It was a non-profit organization. Non-profit. It sounds so adorably naive now, doesn't it? It's like finding out that the shark from the movie Jaws originally just wanted to give hugs. But capitalism, like life, always finds a way. Soon they realized that to build a godlike AI, you needed equally godlike amounts of money. So they created a for-profit branch, and the rest is history. The tool meant to elevate humanity quickly became the tool to optimize human resources, which is the fanciest corporate language I've ever heard for laying people off. Who would have thought that the road to mass unemployment would be paved with good intentions and billions in venture capital? Here's where it gets both brilliant and terrifying, the business model. AI isn't sold as a product, it's sold as a solution. Specifically, a solution to your biggest expense, salaries. It's the efficiency as a service model. AI companies offer their tools to corporations with a simple promise. Our software can do 80% of the work of 5 of your entry-level employees for the cost of just 1. For a company, the math is irresistible. They don't have to pay for health insurance, vacations, or listen to an algorithm complain about its bad weekend. A Goldman Sachs report estimated that generative AI could affect 300 million full-time jobs worldwide. The product these AI companies are selling isn't sophisticated software. The real product is the obsolescence of your office job. And who is the main customer of this macabre service? Well, practically every industry. This isn't new, it's just faster and scarier. Think about how industrial automation replaced factory workers in the 20th century. Now that same logic is being applied to cognitive work. The customer service sector was the first to fall. AI chatbots already handle more than 83% of initial interactions in many large companies. Before you would talk to a Carlos at a call center in Bogota, now you talk to a bot pretending to be Carlos. Marketing, programming, graphic design, accounting, and even law are seeing how tasks that once required an army of juniors are now solved with a single prompt. It's the blockbuster effect on a massive scale. Companies cling to their human video cassettes while the competition is already streaming efficiency with AI. Which sector do you think will be the next to be disrupted into oblivion? Of course, like any product that seems too good to be true, AI has its problems. The truth about this technology is that it's often a pathological liar with too much confidence. It hallucinates. That is, it makes up facts, quotes, and even legal precedents with a confidence that would make any politician jealous. There have been cases of lawyers using ChatGPT for legal research and submitting documents to court citing cases that the AI simply invented. Imagine having to explain that to a judge. What's more, these tools are trained on the entirety of the internet, which means they inherit all our biases and prejudices. They are a mirror of the best and, above all, the worst in us. And let's not even get started on the massive copyright lawsuits from artists and writers whose works were scraped without permission to train these machines. So no, it's not a perfect tool. It's more like an incredibly fast intern, sometimes brilliant, but who occasionally burns down the office. Do you really want to put that intern in charge of your entire company? The economic and social impact is already brutal. According to the World Economic Forum, nearly a quarter of current jobs will change in the next 5 years, and 83 million jobs are expected to disappear by 2027. And we're not just talking about the United States. In regions like Latin America or Spain, where many countries have become outsourcing hubs for global companies, the risk is doubled. Those back-office data analysis or technical support jobs are precisely the ones AI is designed to wipe out. IBM's CEO, Arvind Krishna, was painfully honest when he said he planned to pause hiring for human resources and administrative roles that could be replaced by AI. We're talking about around 26,000 positions in that company alone. When the captain of one of the biggest ships tells you a tsunami is coming, maybe it's time to start looking for higher ground, or have short-term profits blinded us to the imminent shipwreck. So what can the consumer, or in this case the worker, do to hack this dystopian system? The answer sounds like something out of a science fiction movie. If you can't beat the machines, you have to become their boss. It's not about fighting against AI, but about learning to use it as a tool to enhance what makes you human. This is your Sarah Connor moment, getting ready for Judgment Day. AI is excellent at repetitive tasks and processing data, but it's terrible at critical thinking, emotional intelligence, genuine creativity, and leadership. A practical tip: start using AI tools in your daily work. Not so they do your work for you, but so they free you from monotonous tasks and you can focus on strategy and solving complex problems. Become the one who knows how to ask the right questions, the AI whisperer, because in the future, you won't be replaced by AI. You'll be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI better than you. Are you ready to start training? Part of the problem is that we're operating in a complete legal vacuum. Technology is advancing at the speed of a supercar, while regulation moves at the pace of a hungover snail. There are no clear laws regarding the ethics of mass layoffs due to automation, nor about the intellectual property of AI-generated content, nor about liability when an AI makes a serious mistake. Tech companies are taking advantage of this lack of rules to do whatever they want, while funding an army of lobbyists in Washington and Brussels to make sure any future regulation is as lax as possible. It's the digital Wild West, and the corporations are the cowboys redrawing the map as they please, leaving workers as the unfortunate settlers whose land has just been optimized. How long will it be before the sheriffs, that is, the governments, decide to bring some order? What makes this business model so incredibly profitable is that it feeds on two of the most powerful human emotions: convenience and fear. For CEOs, AI is the magic solution that promises to cut costs, boost productivity, and crush the competition. It's an offer of pure convenience. And for everyone else, it's the economy of fear. The fear that your competitor will adopt AI before you and leave you in ruins. The fear employees have of becoming irrelevant. AI companies don't just sell code, they sell a competitive edge wrapped in an existential threat. It's like selling bulletproof vests in the middle of a shootout you helped start. A perfect business, don't you think? And of course, with so much money and hype at stake, the dark side doesn't take long to show up. AI washing has become the new trend, much like greenwashing. Companies that use a simple Excel algorithm suddenly rebrand it as their proprietary AI platform to inflate their valuation and attract unsuspecting investors. It's a speculative bubble built on exaggerated promises and, in some cases, outright fraud. They claim their systems are objective and eliminate human bias, when in reality they often automate and amplify it on a terrifying scale. They sell you an impartial judge, but in reality they're giving you a prejudiced robot. How many of these promises are real innovation, and how many are simply smoke and mirrors? All of this comes wrapped in exquisite experience design. Companies don't announce mass layoffs driven by AI. No. They use corporate language that sounds like it was taken from a dystopian self-help manual. They talk about digital transformation, restructuring for the future, workforce optimization, and my favorite, unleashing human potential. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? They're freeing you from your human potential and from your paycheck. It's a masterpiece of marketing psychology, where a massacre of jobs is disguised as inevitable and exciting progress. They dress up the guillotine in the colors of innovation so you'll smile as you watch it fall. So in the end, did I let AI write this script? No. And not because I'm a Luddite who hates technology. On the contrary, AI is an incredibly powerful tool, probably the most important one we've ever created. But like any tool, it can be used to build or to destroy. And right now, the dominant business model is focused on destroying jobs at the altar of quarterly efficiency. The lesson here isn't to be afraid of AI, but to demand that its implementation is done in a way that benefits society as a whole, not just a handful of shareholders. We must be the architects of our future, not passive spectators to our own obsolescence. Now I ask you, in your job, are they already using AI to replace tasks that used to be done by humans? And what do you think is the most important skill we should develop to avoid becoming obsolete? By the way, if you find it scary how technology can make a job disappear overnight, just wait until you see how companies deliberately design your devices to stop working. The strategy is eerily similar. Here's the video. I promise you'll never look at your phone the same way again.